Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry that we're late. We usually try to start on time, but sometimes we have business that we need to finish. And we needed to wrap up a few items from our work session because it is budget season in the city of Columbia. But thank you all for being here. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Mr. Brown.
Here.
Ms. Herbert. Here. Dr. Bustles. Mr. Brennan.
Present.
Mr. McDowell.
Yes.
Mr. Duval. Present. Mayor Rickenmann.
Here, and I do want to note for the public that Dr. Bustles is not here today because she is on her way to the hospital to deliver her first child. So we look forward to getting the good news here in a couple hours. And we pray for a healthy baby for her and Lewis. I know they're very, very excited about this new adventure that they're about to experience. With that, Reverend McDowell, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, please, if you'll stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reverend McDowell, would you say an invocation, please?
Can we have a word of prayer together? Oh Lord, we simply ask that you might continue to bless this city of ours. Bless those who are here in this city and particularly in this chamber. But Lord, we also pray for the parents of the students that were injured this last weekend. Some of them, we don't know their condition, but we know that the Creator is able to do all things. So Lord, we ask that you might surround and protect us individually and collectively. Allow this birth experience with Dr. Bustles and her husband, let this be a guided experience that is rooted and grounded in your spirit. Touch us individually today. Allow this city to continue to grow and expand itself. But it can't do that without your graciousness falling fresh upon us. We ask it, we claim it, not in your name nor my name, but in the Creator's name. Amen.
If there's anyone who'd like to speak on any item that's on the agenda, you're welcome to come forth now. John, you want to come up, and I know you had something you needed to announce real quick before we got into the regular agenda.
Thank you. As y'all know, when we had the kickoff event for Columbia Cleanup, we were joined and we announced that CCN would be providing 4 $100 grants to communities, one from each council district that participated. Thanks to the generous support of Keep the Midlands Beautiful and the Salvation Army of the Midlands, that amount went from 4 $100 grants to a total of $1,400 grants. I'm here to announce that we have awarded 9 community grants. In District 1, $155 grant. All these grants are $155. For District 1, the Bellevue Historic District, Cottontown, Northwoods Hills, and Windermere Springs all will be receiving one of the grants from the cleanup. In District 2, Burton Heights Standish Acres and Belvedere Community. In District 3, Heritage Woods, and in District 4, Sherwood Forest neighborhoods, and the Galaxy Home neighborhoods. We want to say thank you. We were honored to be included in this and happy that we were able to provide some grant funding to those community organizations that participated. And I think, again, and I've said this numerous times in email and in person, but to quote Mayor Rickenmann, this is collaboration. We started out with a simple thing to provide these grants, and these other community organizations approached us at the same day at that event to boost the numbers and increase it. So congratulations to those, and they will be receiving their checks soon. And thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Thank you, John.
And Ms. Tina, your hair looks good.
Was there anybody else who had anything on the agenda? Hearing none, seeing none.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, yes.
May I just acknowledge the presence of Vita Glover? Thank you for being here today, president of our Columbia branch of the NAACP. Thank you for being here today.
Good to see you, Ms. Glover. With that, we'll move for an adoption of the agenda.
So move.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adopt the agenda and also defer item 13.
All right, any other changes? Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval? Mayor Rickenmann?
Aye.
At this time, thank you, Mayor Rickenmann. We ask council to approve the April 4th, 2023 meeting minutes. They just did that.
So move.
We got a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? Madam Clerk, thank you very much. And once again, you are on top of the game as usual. We appreciate all you do. With that, could you read the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval? Mayor Rickenmann?
Aye.
Thank you.
At this time, we will move into a period of presentations. And Mayor Rickenmann, I'm going to go off script if you allow me to, just for one moment, with a moment of personal privilege. It takes a whole lot to get anything by our city clerk. However, we did, and we tried very hard, our city clerk and our deputy city clerk. And at this time, I would like to recognize them during the 54th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, because we know that not only does Miss Erica Moore-Hammond keep us straight, but she helps to keep many members of our community straight with all of the things that they try to accomplish, and just her dedication for excellence warms my heart. And it is my honor to sit beside her as she keeps me straight at every council meeting. I'm so thankful for her, and I know that you all are as well. With that, I will quickly, Mayor, probably not as well as you would, try to read a proclamation. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk. Now, therefore, I, Teresa Wilson, but on behalf of Mayor Daniel J. Rickenmann, Mayor of the City of Columbia, South Carolina, along with his fellow members of Columbia City Council, do recognize the week of April 30th through May 6th, 2023 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Erica D. Moore-Hammond, Assistant City Clerk, Leaveney Somerville, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent during the 54th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week.
Couldn't do without you.
Nope.
Mayor.
Mr. Duvall.
Mr. Mayor, congratulations to Erica for this proclamation, but I wanted to tell you that the only position that the state law in South Carolina requires a municipality to have is the municipal clerk. And although we have 2,000 employees in our city, a lot of the cities have a municipal clerk that does everything. And I always said they're the most important position in the municipal government.
Yes. Quick photo op. I have to thank Assistant City Manager Pamela Benjamin and Public Relations Director Lisa Yutzi, because Erica couldn't know, but she usually helps me, so they had to help me. So. All right. Moving on with these other wonderful presentations, item 2 is National Bike Month and Bicycle Safety Month Proclamation, the Honorable Daniel J. Rickenmann, Mayor.
Who will be accepting this morning? Lucinda? Okay. So y'all bear with me. I can't see as well as I used to. The bicycle is a viable, environmentally sound form of transportation and is an excellent form of recreation and exercise. Many Columbians will experience the joys of bicycling during the month of May through participation in education programs, races, community events, commuting events, trailer work days, helmet promotion activities, charity events, or just getting out and going for a ride. The Palmetto Trail attracts trail users each year from around the state, providing economic, health, and scenic benefits to the citizens of South Carolina, Columbia, and the entire Southeast. These bicycling activities and attractions have great potential to have a positive impact on Columbia's economic, tourism, industry, and stimulate economic development by making the city attractive to businesses and citizens who enjoy spending their times outdoor and leading healthy lifestyles. Creating bicycle-friendly communities has shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, quality of life, to boost community spirits, to improve traffic safety, and reduce pollution and congestion. So we hereby declare May as the National Bike Month. And so here again in 23, we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it next year, so y'all come back. But on behalf of City Council, we'd like to present to you, Lucinda, as a representative for National Bike Week and Bike Safety Month. Y'all, we're continuing to invest in our greenways and our connectivities. And one day you'll be able to take a bike from downtown Columbia, go past the zoo, all the way up to the dam and back. That changes a lot of things in our community. And then from there, you're on your way back, you can go to Cottontown and you can go over, stop by Broad River and take a peek over at the fish ladder there, and then come back and go have lunch. If you understand the great quality of food in Columbia, you'll stop at the food gallery on your way to the War Mouth, grab a cup of coffee, and then make your way back. But this is a great honor, and Lucinda, I'll give this to you.
Thank you very much, Mayor and members of council. Thank you for your support of Bike Month and for the safety of all cyclists in Columbia. This month, we just have a couple of highlights that we wanted to celebrate and share today. At long last, the Calhoun Street Bike Lane project is out to bid. This has been a true partnership between Richland County and the City of Columbia, and will provide a critical east-west connection across the north side of downtown. So we're really excited about seeing that being implemented. Also, the Central Midlands Council of Government has facilitated a bike share expansion study, which is almost complete. In fact, a public information drop-in is being held tonight at Richland Main Library from 5:30 to 7:30, and tomorrow at the same time at Brooklyn Baptist Church. The study looks at the expansion possibilities within the city and also with our partner municipalities across the river. And just as a note about bike share, the world of micromobility is an ever-changing arena. And while we will have some bumps along the way, we are confident that we are headed in a positive direction to provide more users with more options that connect our community. And finally, I'd like to direct your attention to this year's Bike Month poster put together by Lee in our office. She did a beautiful job. Each one of you has one of these, and there's a couple out in the lobby. Every year I'm just continually impressed by all the activities and events that the cycling community organizes, and this year is no exception. There is a lot going on. So please try to participate in some of these, take a look at all the options there are, and help us celebrate by participating in something on this poster, to include Bike to Work Day on May 19th, and there's a Preservation Urban Design Bike Raid on May 21st.
How can you not announce Tour de Taco ride?
Okay, and Tour de Taco.
I mean, it's coming on Friday, so you can have tequila, tacos, and beers, and then go for a ride.
Lots of possibilities. Thank you very much.
May is such an important month. There's so many designations, but the next one, we got a twofold here, which will be National Historic Preservation Month proclamation that I'll read, and then we'll have the 2023 Mabel Payne Historic Preservation Award, Miss Amy Moore. Where is Amy? Oh, there she is. All right. We'll be here to present that. So I'm going to start with just the proclamation to start. The National Preservation Month is celebrating its 50-year this May anniversary and the nationwide celebrations of historic preservation. The City of Columbia adopted its first preservation ordinance 60 years ago in 1963 and created its first historic districts in 1964. Historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. Historic preservation has been established in cities across the nation as an effective tool for economic and sustainability development, tourism promotion, community revitalization, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character, all while enhancing livability. It's important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals to preserve the tangible aspects of our shared past and shape us as people and help project us into the future. Historic preservation protects and promotes the unique character and viability of the City of Columbia and has for the past 60 years. As Daniel J. Rickenmann as the mayor of Columbia, South Carolina, along with my fellow council members, I do proclaim the month of 2023 as National Preservation Month in the great city of Columbia, urging fellows to recognize and participate in its observation. I'll be presenting this to you all in a minute, but also want to take the opportunity to open the floor to Miss Amy Moore to talk about the Mabel Payne Historic Preservation Award, which I'm really excited about because I've actually seen this property. And it's an incredible asset to our community.
Thank you, Mayor. You've done a great job introducing Preservation Month, and we're excited to be here today. I'm Amy Moore, if you haven't caught that already. This is Rachel Walling and Betsy Kleinfelder, all who are preservation planners in the office. And I have to say, these women do a terrific job. They're a huge factor in our advocacy and outreach to citizens. So we have a lot of events planned this month, and y'all should have a poster showing your Preservation Month. Thank you. Thank you, Vanna. All of the events we have planned, it's from tours and bike rides to a video series featuring locals and architectural scavenger hunts. We have the most jam-packed calendar we've ever had for May. So the Mabel Payne Award is a key part of the month for us, and it's an award named after one of the city's first planners who worked here in the 1950s and laid the groundwork for preservation from the city municipal standpoint. So much of what we have left in the city, our commercial districts, our neighborhoods, these are all here because of Mabel Payne and the cumulative effort of a lot of different people and organizations in the city. So even though the Mabel Payne is not an award that comes with a great deal of fanfare, it is nonetheless given with deep appreciation. This year, our award recipient for conservation and stewardship is Candy Wright, who is a local property owner whose rehabilitation projects in Melrose neighborhood have transformed dilapidated, lost cause houses into some of the most desirable structures in the neighborhood. This includes her own home, the Prairie-style Powell House, one of the homes of the Powell family who basically developed the neighborhood, the Melrose neighborhood, in the early 20th century. It was neglected, gutted, had a failing roof, and the previous owner had requested permission for demolition, which thankfully was not approved, and Candy was able to purchase the property. Her vision brought this unique house back to life so that it stands today as a rare, gorgeous example of the prairie style in Columbia. Likewise, she has another project. She didn't stop with that one. It's on Maple Street in Melrose neighborhood, and it was considered an eyesore and one of the ugliest houses on the street. Now is considered to be one of the most beautiful and unusual homes in the neighborhood. There was vinyl siding on the second floor, unusual brick, a gutted interior. Most people were scared off by this, but not Candy. It was a project that took vision, and she really delivered on this one. She brought the building back to life. She restored the windows. She removed the vinyl siding, repaired stucco, didn't paint the historic brick, but kept it, rebuilt the interior, and even repaired the matching garage. Today, this building is a shining example of another unique architectural style in Melrose, which is called the Airplane Bungalow. So it has been our pleasure and privilege to work with Candy on these projects over the years. Her attention to detail and her desire to save unique properties and the fine historic features that make them special make her a dream to work with for us. Her perspective is not just about making a profit. She appreciates what's special around her and invests back into her own neighborhood. So her neighbors have a lot of great things to say about her, both as a person and as an example for preservation in the neighborhood. She's a fantastic neighbor who regularly opens her home. She assists in community events and causes, and they see her as someone who pours her energy into supporting the neighborhood. She's an inspiration. We are excited to continue to work with Candy as she's now started her third project in Melrose, and we are sure this one will be as much a triumph as the others have been, preserving historic character with an eye to detail and adding value to the district. Please join me in thanking Candy for her work in giving these historic buildings new life and for providing an exceptional example of how one person can make a huge difference.
All right.
I am really, really humbled by this. I love everything this award represents and all that Maple Payne stood for. I'm just a normal little neighbor who has a little bit of vision and probably not a lot of fear. But I know one thing for sure, that people like me can't do projects like this without the incentives and the programs that you all have put in place. It makes all the difference. That's how someone like me can do this. And so I thank you on behalf of all the people who love the beautiful buildings.
All right,
I
now
appreciate
you're
it.
not normal. All right, you're very creative and determined to do something, and your eye for creativity, the way you take those elements and bring them back to life, that's a talent. That's not normal. That's a talent, and we appreciate it. Your home, the Powell House, I think is one of the most beautiful properties in Columbia. Being in the back house and all that. One day I'm just gonna have a stay vacation and go over there. But what you're doing in the neighborhood, but I hope you'll wander beyond Melrose Heights. We got a few other places that got some really unique houses that need your touch. So we'll start sending you Polaroids and letting you start adding to your portfolio over there.
Yeah, just tell me where to be.
Your husband says no.
Keeps me out of his hair. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think they want to put, maybe,
Hey,
maybe not.
Amy, did you want to get a picture?
It's the bicycle.
Are you going to? Now, I will say, Amy, on your calendar for next year, you need to have at least one night of like for taco night or pizza night or something. I mean, the bicycle crowd, they got beer and tacos. So last presentation we have is our Small Business Week, which we had an opportunity to kick off the other day at Craft Axe Throwing. And I thought that was appropriate since we spent the last 14 months working on cutting through some of the red tape that we have to make it easier. So I'm glad you picked that place, Aisha. But with that, I'll allow you to just kick it off.
Yes, thank you so much. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council members. In honor of Small Business Week, I want to briefly share some updates with you. So in addition to our day-to-day activities in OBO, I'd like to highlight some of the opportunities we had to support our small business community. All right. So our office has coordinated Food Truck Friday since last summer. We've seen participation from over 30 different food trucks, from barbecue to chicken and waffles to cuisine from the Philippines. So we've just had a wide variety of different food options. And this has given us an opportunity to assist some of these small businesses with the process for getting their business license and making sure they have the necessary DHEC certifications to operate. And as you know, the city has seen a number of grand openings over the past year. They continue to be a great way for us to promote the opening and expansion of our small businesses. while making sure they're aware of the resources we provide at the city. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the support of our public relations and Parks and Recreation staff to assist with all of these logistics necessary to make these events happen. So here's a list of our upcoming activities. Well, yesterday, as the mayor mentioned, we had our kickoff at Craft Acts. Yesterday, this event was held in coordination with the Columbia Chamber, Richland County, TD Bank, and our host, John Upton, with Craft Acts Throwing. The Small Business Administration also joined us for the kickoff, and all of our partners are here with us today. I know Susan from the Chamber is here. We also had Greg White and Angela Brewer here from SBA. And then on Friday, we'll hold our 10th annual Small Business Week conference. We're really excited about that. We have over 150 people registered for the event. So we're looking forward to celebrating our small business community and offering them a chance to network and attend sessions to assist with the growth and sustainability. We've also partnered with SBA for this event to hold their award ceremony and offer a matchmaking session to allow vendors to meet with various procurement representatives to see how they can provide their goods and services. Those are pictures from our event last week. We also have Dion Jenner as our MC. He's here as well with us today, and that's a proclamation we did with him last year. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for us to get a lot of our small businesses together and bring a lot of the local and state resources into one room to provide access to businesses to make those connections. I also have all of our OBO staff here today, if they'd please stand. Yay. They are all committed to assisting the businesses that we serve each day. So again, we're excited to celebrate Small Business Week, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share just a few activities we have going on to support our small businesses.
Before we start, I'd like everybody to give Aisha Driggers a hand. She has done an incredible. I say that with true sincerity because Aisha was the interim director, and I kept calling her director, and she kept kind of blushing. But the reality is she has a special touch, not only with her staff, but the people that she works with. We always don't get compliments at the City of Columbia, I'll be honest with you. I know y'all are all shocked by that. But the reality is the businesses that work with the OBO, they cannot stop talking about their experience. And that starts with leadership. And so I just want to acknowledge it. This week is also Aisha Driggers week. But seriously, folks, Small Business Week is so important because it's really the backbone of our community. And if you look at the businesses that are growing here and giving back and being part of our community, they're small businesses, they're family-owned. And we can't do enough. Look, I'll be honest, the reason I'm here in Columbia, South Carolina is when I graduated, I watched my friends start businesses. I watched them take jobs here. And I started a business here because the communities support you. And I've seen that time after time after time. So when you go out and you think about a day when it's rainy or it's a little cold outside and you rather click the mouse and order something, think twice about it. Think about taking that extra step, hopping in your car, riding around, putting some money in the meter, because we got to make some money too now. And then go and support these businesses, these restaurants, these retailers, these specialty shops, the dry cleaners, the cobblers, the folks that are the backbone of our community in every corner. Because I can point you to all the great restaurants, all the little specialty shops that are sprinkled throughout our 4 districts in Columbia, South Carolina. And this is our opportunity this week to continue to support them. And with that, I'm not going to read all the whereases and this ases, but I'm just going to take it right down to the bottom line, which is we declare Small Business Week in Columbia, South Carolina. So go spend some money locally, please.
Precious. Yay, OBO. Yay, OBO. Telling you. Kalina won. You got to be in the picture, Kalina. Right. Awesome. Good job, y'all. Good job. Oh, thank you. Yay, y'all. Proud of y'all. Proud of you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay. We will move along after some really great presentations. The consent agenda items 5 through 12 and 14 and 15.
Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any discussions, concerns? We did remove item 13 for the record. Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll? I know you're back there somewhere behind those flowers.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
And Mr. McDowell? Yes. Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickenmann?
Aye.
Thank you.
We do have one item for second reading, Mayor Rickenmann and Council, a zoning planning matter, the zoning map amendment for 0.47 acres along Sunset Drive. The TMS number as outlined. And I believe this item did have some neighborhood input in between first and second reading.
They did.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion? Second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickenmann?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinances, first reading is item 17, an annexation, interim future land use map amendment, and interim zoning map amendment for 800 Dutch Square Boulevard.
I move approval.
We got a motion and a second. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert? Aye. Mr. McDowell? Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickenmann?
Aye.
Mr.
I'm sorry, Mayor, we're wrapping up
Make
quickly.
up for time.
That's exactly right. Moving into a period of city council committee reports, referrals, and new business.
Do we have any referrals, committee reports? I know there were several committees today. Councilman Brennan, would you
Yes,
like to
Mr.
start?
Mayor, had a wonderful Arts, Historic, and Philanthropy Committee meeting today. Got a fantastic annual summary of our partners at the One Columbia Local Arts Agency, working together, moving forward, coming up with ideas on how we can get more community-based programs through their network. It's always important for teaming purposes for grants. So that was a wonderful conversation. How can we team to chase national, state, federal, and philanthropy grants out there for the betterment of the arts in our community? So look forward to continuing the conversation with One Columbia, and we'll pick up some more topics next month.
Yes, Mayor Rickenmann, the Community Development Committee met today, and we really received an awesome report from Parks and Rec, Ms. Jacqueline Williams, on our community gardens. We started community gardens, I think, in 2011 or 2012, and to see all of the things that we're doing beyond just providing the plots, the educational classes, and all of the things that we have going on in each of the zip codes, everyone was pretty surprised. More Justice was our guest at the meeting as well, and I think that they were actually impressed with a lot of the things that we were already doing. But I think the biggest thing that we got from it was we didn't start doing community gardens for food insecurity. We started doing it way before food insecurity was an issue, really. And so they did have interesting questions for data. And so it did have us to look at how we can look at some ways that we're collecting data. But I think the biggest thing that I took from it is, we were doing it before food insecurity was an issue.
Any other committee reports, referrals?
Dr. Bustles chaired a very good environmental committee meeting, and I do not have my notes here with me, so we'll have to defer that until she gets back.
Well, they had a good meeting.
They did. I would add, thank you for that, Mr. Duvall, that one part of the meeting involved the discussion with the unification with the Lurie Center and Senior Resources. And I know that the committee endorsed the concept and asked us to refer it out to full council with the contingency that Richland County hopefully is also going to participate with the funding proposal. We do have a draft letter that we're going to send to the county with that endorsement, as long as that's okay with the full council.
And when would you like to do that?
We can share that draft with you all probably as early as this evening or tomorrow, Mayor. And if everybody's okay with that, I'll get that over to the county administrator.
Yeah, I think Reverend McDowell would like to read it tonight. He likes to read at night, so if we could get that to him tonight, that would be helpful.
Okay. Yep.
And Mayor Rickenmann, I'm sorry, I forgot one very important thing from our community development meeting. May 2nd is the day that they check timeliness.
Oh, yes,
and we have met timeliness, and that means
Until today.
we have met timeliness.
We did.
Which means we will continue to get those wonderful funds for CDBG, Hop One Home.
Yeah,
and I'm very happy about that.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We are too.
Thank you. No more referrals, reports, hearing none, seeing none. I think we can move to point of public input. Madam Clerk, you have some folks signed up?
Yes, sir. We have Mr. Javar Juarez and Javar. Thank you very much, Mr.
Very quiet guy in the front row.
Juarez and Miss Audra Howisher is signed up to speak. I will remind speakers that they have 3 minutes.
It's always the music in Columbia. Hi, I'm Javar Juarez. I'll just cut to it. When Dr. Linda Kershaw recruited me to come here from Hollywood, despite my family having sold over 2.5 million records from 1973 up until today, I only had $50 when I came here. That's saying something, isn't it, Mr. McDowell?
Yes, sir.
I only had $50. And since then, I've performed over 400 concerts, 60 recitals, and I have professionally trained more than 24 independent artists. One of the most difficult jobs in the city of Columbia, one of the most challenging, most expensive, and often one of the most thankful jobs is that of the independent music artist. Artists like me that have come to Columbia from a very long ways to study fine arts. My family thought I was crazy leaving Hollywood to come to South Carolina to study music. But I'm glad that I did, because I became a man here. I became a serious, very serious, a little too serious sometimes, working professional advocate and musical artist. The independent artist doesn't have a home in Columbia, though. And we have no municipal auditorium and space designed for us to further our mission to expand the arts. Musical artists in the city of Columbia are responsible for generating millions of dollars for local businesses. And often we are overlooked for the huge budgets of internationally recognized artists. But after they are gone, we are still here supporting small businesses and independent businesses and entertaining eager crowds. And our local citizens, they have very high expectations. They expect the same levels of performance, sound, lighting, and etc. But we do so on very small budgets. This has actually created little small wars for spaces that drive revenue costs up to unreachable levels for independent artists, starving out the growth and development in our local music scene. Imagine a city without music. Imagine what happens to small businesses, bars, nightclubs, and other programs that rely on us to provide live performance. The people of Columbia want more than just a karaoke bar on every corner of the city. They expect fine art. Are they willing to pay for it? Dion, maybe sometimes. A municipal auditorium is necessary in closing to expand our city's international appeal and fanfare. And I am here to commit myself to helping raise awareness and money towards these efforts.
Thank you,
all so
Javar.
much.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
being
it.
here. Thank you for your work in the Broad River neighborhood area as well.
The donut hole is thriving. And just so that you all know, with the help of this council, and I know I am no joke, and I really want to apologize to Miss Teresa, Miss Missy, Miss Tina. I am really hard-nosed because it's very difficult working in the donut hole. The programs that this city helped us sponsor, and with you coming there, we have proven that we can reduce crime by 30% in those areas of unincorporated Richland County and in the donut hole areas of the city of Columbia. That's really huge. We have proven it, it's documented, and it's working.
See, that little bit of crazy that you brought with you, it worked out well, didn't it?
It did. It did. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Yes, Miss Audra Awisha.
Good afternoon, City Columbia Council. My name is Audra, and I'm technically a resident of Irmo, but my backyard fence line is the jurisdiction line for the City of Columbia, and I work and volunteer here with the city as well. I'm here this afternoon in front of you all to speak on the matter of safety in the Harbison area. First off, I would like to say thank you to the city, City Manager Teresa Wilson, Chief of Police Skip Holbrook, for meeting with myself and my neighbors, with the Executive Director, Harbison, Cindy Kellett, and State Representative Nathan Ballantyne, last Monday to talk about these matters and steps being taken to help address these crime and activities. Mayor Rickenmann, I'd also like to say thank you for speaking to Irmo Town Councilman Eric Sickinger periodically on updates that you may have. This doesn't go unnoticed. My neighbors and I have been dealing with the rising criminal activities for years, and it came to a head when 3 armed individuals broke into my house on January 31st from an apartment community in the city. The fence line I share with the city, actually. Unfortunately, this incident happened. However, looking at the positives, this helped bring awareness to Harbison and citizens of Irmo as my surveillance camera footage got the attention of over 20,000 people in the area. After this incident, we knew we couldn't go back to being in our bubble anymore. And I've been working with Irmo Council on research for the flock cameras and this facial surveillance cameras that was just recently voted on at the council meeting recently. My neighbors and I are here to support the city with any assistance you all can provide to help CPD, IPD, and Richland County Police Forces to help police the area and help see a decline in the ongoing crime. We know it's tricky as there are 4 police jurisdictions within half a mile in this area, or as we like to call it, the Bermuda Triangle of 911. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your ongoing support in helping us with crime in the area.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be here.
Yeah,
and we
absolutely.
appreciate your advocacy.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's super important. If people like me don't speak up and do anything, then we can't bring attention and do anything about it. So thank you guys, and thank you for everybody helping work on solutions.
Thank you.
No other individuals have signed in.
Was anybody else like to speak? This is your time. Well, hearing that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn, and we'll go to an executive session.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we go into executive session for receipt of legal advice relating to matters covered by attorney-client privilege pursuant to SC Code 30-4-70A2, meal sharing ordinance, discussion of matters related to the proposed location, expansion, or provision of services encouraging location or expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by the public body pursuant to SC Code 30-4-70A5, Project Royale, discussion of the employment of an employee pursuant to 30-4-70A1, city manager and city attorney evaluation process.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any additions, questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Herbert?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickenmann?
Aye.
Thank you.